Well, I mean, I think it's important to understand, like, as players, of course you want the best talent playing for your team, and that's exactly what Israel Folau is. He's a great talent. There's no one questioning that. But unfortunately, there's now, I guess, excess baggage that comes with that. Those guys that have endorsed Israel to come back and play rugby league in the NRL aren't necessarily the ones having to deal with sponsors and other stakeholders within those teams and organisations, which have a pretty big impact in terms of moving forward and whether these decisions actually are made or not. The thing for me is the NRL had a stance on this a few years ago, and what's changed in that time? Like, nothing's changed. It's only just been a few years that's gone in between. He hasn't come out and said anything. He hasn't addressed it. Nothing's actually changed in the landscape other than the fact that we're 3 years later.
I think it's interesting to see what happened to St George. My rugby league side, when it was mooted they were going to go and try and track down Israel Folau and get him to sign up. There all sorts of backlash in the media. Maybe sponsors got involved as well. I don't really know. But I think if you're in an administration of a club, you've got to take all that into consideration. And also, bear in mind that Israel Folau is now 31. He's maybe no longer the player he was 7, 8, 10 years ago. So all that baggage he brings with him, is that going to be worth it? And is his talent as good as maybe it once was? That's the thing from an administration and a recruitment point of view that you've got to take into consideration.
Yeah, I think there's a cost-benefit analysis to be done there, isn't there? His stats when he was playing for the Catalan Dragons weren't terrific. He didn't make as many metres as other players around him. So, is that sort of benefit worthwhile from an administrative point of view of what you'll have to deal with? But I think the other thing is you've got to listen to someone like Ian Roberts, who is a senior statesman in the game, who has come out and said it's a storm, and he's used some choice words in front of that word, that you just don't want to get involved in because there's issues around homophobia that it raises, and they're fairly serious issues. So let's listen to the wiser heads in rugby league around it.